Brawl Stars. It's got a bit of history, and if you've been playing since the early days, you know the game has drastically changed. Today, we're going to be taking a look at 17 things only Brawl Stars OGs may remember. Things that you just had to be there to fully understand. So, with that being said, let's get right into it.
Let's do this.
The old ticket events. Remember having to pay these red tickets to enter the weekend events like Robo Rumble, Boss Fight, and Big Game, and the more tickets you put in, the bigger the reward? Man, good times, eh? These game modes still exist today, along with many other special events, but there's a major difference in how we play them and the reward potential. Long gone are the days of betting your chances to get big beefy rewards. Spending all your goddamn tickets in one weekend, it was something else. However, in May 2020, an update would remove tickets and these events would become free, removing the betting aspect of it. 13 minutes and 14 seconds. If you remember what those numbers mean, now that's pretty OG. Basically, in the game mode Robo Rumble, the max time you could get was 13 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, it wasn't impossible to achieve that, but in December 2018, it became way easier. Robo Rumble would get a new map, and that could be exploited to reach the max time, without actually needing to play. With a bit of El Primo parkour, robots couldn't get to you, so all you had to do was wait, and then you got to flex in your profile that you had reached the limit of Robo Rumble, 13 minutes and 14 seconds. OG boxes. Now, you're probably aware that Brawl doesn't have any boxes, so technically every box is old and OG, I guess, in some way, but I'm talking about the very first boxes that were in the game in 2017. Back then, we had the regular boxes, which included the Brawl Box, Big Box, and Mega Box, but then we also had the rarity-specific boxes, like the Rare Box, Super Rare, Epic, and Mythic. Eventually, though, they removed the rarity boxes and they kept the big three. For years, actually, it just got removed in 2022. But I'll forever remember the OG boxes. Even the old designs of the regular ones are nostalgic. The 2018 to 2019 Brawl Ball. Brawl Ball has gone through many changes, but the most notable one was in late 2018, where they changed the map to have a space behind the goal. Now, the goal of this change was for players to spawn there. Eventually, players realized, wait a minute, this is like the perfect spot to hide a ball, and unfortunately, that did happen. It was as annoying as it sounds, but either way, I still remember it being pretty fun. I don't know, nostalgia is a heck of a thing. Sometime in 2019, they would end up fixing this and changing the Brawl map, so now it's impossible to go behind the goal. Tap controls. Once upon a time, changing the method you controlled your brawler was as easy as going into the settings and changing it. You could choose to tap to walk or use a joystick. This was back when there was only one joystick, so tapping on the enemy to shoot at the time was how aiming worked. But in early 2018, when Brawl Stars transitioned to landscape, these options went out the window. The new standard was now 2 joysticks, and while some people hated this at the time, especially the auto aim, I think it was a fantastic change. Top Hat Mortis. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's a skin in the game, but if you've been playing for a while, you may know that it's not just a skin, it's the old Mortis. That's right, when Mortis was redesigned in late 2018, he went from looking like this to this. No, I'm just kidding, this. Now, after the redesign, there was a bit of a movement in the community and hashtag bring back the hat was trending for a bit. Eventually, not long after the redesign, they added the Top Hat Mortis skin for free, and that's why Mortis has 2 default skins. The old Heist. Heist is one of my favorite game modes. The concept of having 2 safes to defend and attack simultaneously is fantastic. But there weren't always 2 safes. Before the Heist 2.0 rework of May 2018, Heist only had 1 safe. And the game mode was played way differently. When you went into a Heist match, you were either defending the safe from the other team or attacking the safe trying to get it for your team. This drastically changed the game mode, and man, the old Heist was something else. Long Range Darryl. If you're an OG player, you may remember how goofy some star powers were. But one of the most hilarious and also broken ones was Darryl, before he ever said a word. My god, it was so damn broken, he was known as the Gem Grab Menace. Basically, you know that rolly thing he does? Well, that used to have a lot more range, like a lot. Enough to go from one side of the map to the other, I'm not kidding. It was hilarious, depending on what team you're in. I don't remember every time a brawler was OP, but this one is still stuck in my head for whatever reason. The old tutorials. Brawl Stars has changed a lot, and it's not surprising that the tutorial changes with it. There have been many iterations of the same learn how to walk and shoot kind of thing, but the oldest version of the tutorial is also the strangest. You spawn in this showdown looking map while Shelly guided you on how to walk and hide in bushes and whatnot, but then you just blast away some bulls and dynamites. It's the most random thing ever. Then in 2018, which a lot of you may be more familiar with, they changed it to this. Sort of a similar thing going on, except here you collect gems and shoot robots. Let me know down below which version you remember. Co-op Brawl. In the early days, there used to be an extra button in the screen where you start a match, and that was for Co-op Brawl. It was basically like multiplayer, so it did have a random matchmaking, but the other team was bots. So it was kind of like a super casual game mode, and it was helpful because you got XP and coins from it. It wasn't useless. The only thing it was missing was trophies. But who cared about trophies when you're trying to practice your brawler and get paid for it, right? It was really nice. However, due to many people not utilizing the feature, you know what they say, use it or lose it. We did end up losing the feature in late 2017, just a few months after beta launch. Nowadays, we do have practice mode, but it's only a shadow of what Co-op Brawl used to be. Gems in boxes. Imagine the next star drop you open, there were gems in it. How cool would that be? Pretty dang cool, right? Well, this used to be a thing. Ever since the game came out, you could get gems from boxes, and it was fantastic. You could save it up for a skin or the Brawl Pass. It was free gems. Sadly, in mid-2020, in order to balance the economy, they integrated these free gems into the free side of the Brawl Pass. It's kind of the same thing, I guess, but there will never be a better feeling than getting shiny-ass gems from a random-ass box. The trophy rework. I had a faint memory of this, I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot this ever happened, but in July 2019, before the trophy rework, the amount of trophies you got from a match were considerably lower than anything you get today. I think the max you could get was like 5 or 6. Nowadays, it's not out of the ordinary to get double-digit gains. It's crazy because before the update, reaching rank 20 on a brawler was like a big flex, but after, it was way easier to go past 500. Speaking of ranks, that reminds me, it was once possible to finish the game. Before September 2017, every brawler's trophies were capped at 500, and the total player trophies were capped at 8,000. Anyone who had reached these caps were basically done with the game. The developers had no idea anyone would be so fast at reaching these caps. But even years after the caps were removed, 500 trophies was still accepted as finishing a brawler's progression, and having everyone at 500 was a massive flex. I'm not sure if it's still the same today with so many damn brawlers and trophy changes. Yeah, I don't know. When Gene broke the game. I just added this one for fun, but surely some of you may remember of the spectacular launch Gene had. Pretty much on launch day, if you used his super, it would crash the game. But that's not even the crazy part. It not only crashed your game, but everyone else's game that was in that match. It was so bad that the developers had to remove Gene from the game. Luckily, it didn't last long though. I'm pretty sure there was an update to fix it the same day or the very next morning. You know what else is truly OG? Watching ads to double your rewards from boxes. I probably made Supercell about $100 worth of ad money because it was definitely worth watching just for those extra rewards. Interestingly enough though, it does appear that they are trying to bring it back in some way or another in some countries under the daily freebie section. Double Trophy Siege. Remember that trophy rework we talked about earlier? Well, before that happened, the developers were experimenting with other ways to boost trophies, and one of them was by playing the Siege game mode. Back when it was first added, you could get double trophies from this game mode only, and it was pretty dang unique. After the trophy rework though, trophies obtained from this game mode were made just like every other game mode. Tokens. Today, the main form of progression in terms of star drops and stuff is XP. But man, were times far simpler when Brawl Stars was all about grinding tokens. This system was personally my favorite. It may have not been perfect, but it was fun as hell. Just get tokens, open boxes, get star tokens to open the big box. It was all very simple and fun. Not saying Brawl is too complex nowadays, but there was something about getting tokens and opening boxes that was very fun and bare bones. So guys, that wraps it up. Those are 17 things. Not gonna lie, it was a nice breath of fresh air to work on a full-length Brawl video again. It's been a while, and we got a lot to talk about, assuming we continue the series, so if you want to see a part 2, let me know. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Havoc Gaming out. Peace!